As a hectic midweek of Premier League action draws to a close, Sportsmail's AMITAI Winehouse takes a look back over the areas we are now slightly more wiser on. Full-backs key for Liverpool. All 5 goals for Liverpool in the win against Watford were provided by their full-backs. Trent Alexander-Arnold alone assisted 3, only the 4th player to provide a hat-trick of assists in Premier League history. It speaks for how diminished Liverpool were without the right-back in their side at Old Trafford, and just how important he is, along with Andy Robertson, to the title push. Watford, unfortunately for them, felt the brunt of Liverpool back in full flow, and full-backs ran it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's spell at Man United is no fluke. You are past the point where we can consider Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to have made a lucky start as Manchester United manager. Whatever he is doing, it is working. Records do not get broken by chance. They have now won 8 consecutive away games in all competitions for the first time in their history after beating Crystal Palace. It may not work long term. For now at least though, Solskjaer is getting it right. Pedro, right man for Maurizio Sarri's system. Pedro has always played his part for Chelsea, but under Maurizio Sarri he's a key figure in the system. This is probably the first time he has been truly first choice. It has paid off. He has hit 8 Premier League goals this season under Sarri, double the amount he scored last season under Antonio Conte. That's some improvement. It shows that, while many of Chelsea's players do not suit Sarri's style, Pedro does. Arsenal flashback to Arsene Wenger. If there was one thing missing from Unai Emery's time in charge of Arsenal, it was the thumping home wins Arsene Wenger's side would sometimes pull off against opponents that were too open. Emery now has one to his name. The victory against Bournemouth was the first time the Gunners had managed 5 goals in a Premier League home game since May 2018, Wenger's last game in charge at the Emirates Stadium. If Emery can take a top 4 place, this season has ticked most boxes. Another record broken at Manchester CityOleksandr Zinchenko has done an exceptional job as a makeshift left-back for Manchester City over the last year. Coming into the side in a title-winning season, the one-time attacking midfielder has gone on to fill in defence impressively, including against West Ham. Want evidence of how seamless it has all been? He has been on the winning side in each of his first 13 Premier League appearances with 11 starts. That's the longest run of wins from the start of a player's career in the division's history. Sean Longstaff. Making most of Newcastle chance opportunity is usually more important than raw talent when it comes to young players breaking through. Sean Longstaff was about to head out on loan before an injury crisis at Newcastle meant he was elevated to the first team. Against Burnley, he hit his first goal, and at 21 years and 119 days, he became the youngest player to strike for Newcastle since May 2016. Longstaff has gone from a lower league loanee to a first-choice Premier League player, and a potential England under-21 international in the space of a month. Opportunity knocked, and he answered. Giving up possession gives Leicester the points when they did not play the Big Six sides under Claude Puel. Leicester tended to dominate possession. In fact, in the 10 games prior to Puel's sacking, when not facing the top teams, only once did they not enjoy the majority of the ball. That changed against Brighton. They dipped under 50%, scored twice from swift passing moves, and won the game. Puel's desire to dominate the ball seemed to get the worst out of his players. If new boss Brendan Rodgers abandons his once long-held dogma, when it comes to possession he can achieve more than the Frenchman. And Rodgers knows that sometimes pragmatism works best. Just ask Luis Suarez or any of Liverpool's 2013-14 vintage. Gylfi Sigurdsson no longer the £15 million flop at Everton. At one stage of Gylfi Sigurdsson's Everton career, it seemed as though he would be the singular symbol of their wasted money under Ronald Koeman. Now, a season and a half on, he has 15 Premier League goals, 5 more than anyone else for the club in that time frame. His double against Cardiff ended a run of 3 straight defeats for Marco Silva's side. There's arguably no one more important to Everton than the Icelandic midfielder. Silva's main job is to build around him. Home is where the heart is for Ralph Hasenhüttl. Southampton's form has improved across the board under Ralph Hasenhüttl. If they stay up, though, it will come because of what has been happening at St Mary's. In the last 4 games at home, after a tough run for Hasenhüttl at the start of his reign, they have won 2. Prior to that, they had won 2 in 21 at their own ground. That sort of home form will only ever see you struggle. This recent run could see them to safety. Huddersfield will have a shot next season in the Championship. Staggeringly, 43% of Huddersfield's points this season have now come against Wolves, the only team they have beaten twice. It just speaks for a general trend against the newly promoted sides. They have also collected 3 from Fulham and 2 from Cardiff. That makes a total of 79% points from teams that have just left the Championship. So, while they are among the poorer recent Premier League sides, they clearly fare well against those closer in standard to the second tier. And maybe they will have more of a shot next season than you'd initially expect.